Captain Sarachin adjusted her coffee mug as the Persistence shuddered out of hyperspace, completely unaware that she had just made first contact with the most feared empire in the galaxy. The navigation computer beeped apologetically, displaying coordinates that matched absolutely nothing in Earth's star charts. "Well, that's new," muttered Lieutenant Rodriguez from the pilot's seat, scratching his stubble. "GPS says we're, nowhere." Through the viewport, a massive space station materialized, a crystalline monstrosity stretching across several kilometers, bristling with weapons that could crack planets. Geometric patterns pulsed along its surface in colors that human eyes had no names for. Smaller ships swarmed around it like metallic wasps, their hulls bearing the dreaded crimson sigil of the Vortak Dominion. Chen sipped her coffee. "Huh. Looks like a mall." The communications array crackled to life, flooding the bridge with a voice that had made entire star systems surrender without firing a shot. It spoke in perfect, if overly dramatic English. "Primitive vessel! You dare enter the sacred space of the Vortak Dominion! Prepare for immediate annihilation, or grovel before the might of Supreme Commander Zywaxtala." Engineer Martinez looked up from his tablet. "Are they talking to us?" "I think so," Chen replied, then activated the comm. "Hey there! Sorry about the intrusion. Our GPS went haywire during a routine supply run. We're just trying to get back to Earth." A long pause. Then, "Earth? Yeah, third planet from a yellow star? Pretty boring place, honestly. You probably haven't heard of it." On the bridge of the Dominion's Fist, Supreme Commander Zywaxtala stared at the primitive vessel with all four of his eyes. His cybernetic implants analyzed the ship's composition: steel, aluminum, and what appeared to be duct tape. Lots of duct tape. The weapons systems barely registered on his sensors. "They show no fear," whispered his tactical officer, tentacles quivering. "Perhaps they possess some terrible secret weapon?" Zywaxtala had conquered 17 star systems and eliminated countless species, but something about these humans unnerved him. Their casual dismissal of his threats suggested either supreme confidence or complete insanity. "Humans!" he boomed. "You will submit to boarding and interrogation. Any resistance will result in your immediate vaporization." "Sure thing," came the reply. "Just give us a sec to clear the airlock." Martinez spilled his lunch in there yesterday. 20 minutes later, Zywaxtala stood in the Persistence's cramped cargo bay, surrounded by his elite shock troops. The humans had greeted them with handshakes and offers of coffee. He'd never encountered anything so bizarre. Sochin said, leaning against a crate of medical supplies. "You run this whole operation? Nice setup." "Very spiky. I am the Supreme Commander of the Vortak Dominion," Zywaxtala declared. "I have crushed the will of 1,000 worlds." "That's cool." Rodriguez nodded. "I used to manage a Walmart. Similar skill set, I bet." Zywaxtala's mandibles clicked in confusion. You mock me?" "Not at all," Chen assured him. "We're impressed, right, guys?" The crew nodded politely. "It's just that where we come from, we've got politicians, so the whole supreme ruler thing doesn't really faze us." "Politicians?" "Yeah, they promise you everything, take your money, start wars, and somehow convince you it's your fault when things go wrong. Your conquest thing is actually pretty straightforward by comparison." Dr. Kim, the ship's medic, stepped forward. "Are those cybernetic implants?" "That's fascinating. We've been working on neural interfaces for years. Mind if I take a look?" Before Zywaxtala could respond, she was examining his cranial modifications with professional interest. "Oh, this is beautiful work. Very clean integration. Though I have to ask, why the spikes? They seem impractical." They inspire fear," Zywaxtala stammered. "Sure, but they'd be murder on airplane seats. And don't get me started on the infection risk." Zywaxtala found himself explaining Vortak biology and the ceremonial significance of battle modifications. Somehow, the conversation had shifted to comparative anatomy and the human's own history of body modification. They seemed genuinely interested, asking technical questions about his species' evolutionary adaptations. You know, Martinez said thoughtfully, your neural enhancement network is similar to what we're developing for our Mars colony project. Different approach, but the same basic principle. You're colonizing other worlds? Just getting started. Chin shrugged. Mars is pretty hostile, but we figured it out. Took a while though, lots of explosions in the early days. And you weren't deterred? The humans exchanged glances. Nah, Rodriguez said. Explosions are just engineering feedback. We lost a few bases, but that's how you learn, right? ZYXDALA's tactical officer approached nervously. Commander, our intelligence network has completed its analysis of their homeworld. And? Sir, they're still fighting each other. Active wars on multiple continents. Nuclear weapons. Climate change. Economic collapse. Political chaos. The officer's voice dropped to a whisper. And they're colonizing space anyway. ZYXDALA looked at the humans with new understanding. These weren't primitive beings stumbling into galactic politics. They were survivors of a world so chaotic that his mighty empire seemed almost peaceful by comparison. How? He asked quietly. How do you function? Chin considered the question seriously. Coffee helps. And spite. Lots of spite. She grinned. Plus, when everything's already terrible, you might as well try to make it interesting. We adapt, Dr. Kim added. Always have. It's kind of our thing. As the hours passed, ZYXDALA found himself genuinely enjoying the conversation. The humans discussed everything from terraforming techniques to governing multi-species populations with the casual expertise of people who dealt with far worse problems. Finally, he made a decision that would reshape galactic politics forever. Humans, he announced formally. The Vorthak Dominion extends an invitation to join our empire as autonomous partners. Chin raised an eyebrow. What's the benefits package like? We offer protection, trade opportunities, and access to our technological networks. Vacation time? Vacation time? Yeah, time off. Rest and relaxation. Mental health is important, you know. ZYXDALA paused. In all his years of conquest, no species had ever asked about vacation time. We could arrange something. Sold, Chin said, extending her hand. Welcome to the neighborhood. This should be fun. As the Persistence prepared for its return to Earth, ZYXDALA reflected on the day's events. He'd planned to add another conquered system to his empire. Instead, he'd found allies who made galactic domination seem almost manageable. Perhaps, he thought, there was something to be said for the human approach to problems. After all, any species that could survive their own homeworld might just be crazy enough to help him fix his empire. The galaxy would never be the same,